Well, oh, can't sing that. We back. 100 Simple Life Truths. This your host. I am the host. You are the goat. You are the listener. You are the understander. You are the grower. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I feel like this is gonna be one of them episodes, man. I don't got my glasses. I got a pair of glasses in here. I don't. I feel like this is gonna be one of the good motivational episodes, man. Um, it is September 23rd. It is 1:18 p.m. and I am here. I'm alive. I'm abundant. You are abundant. You are great. You are perfect. You are joy. You are excellent. Right? Um, yeah, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a great mood. This is episode 68. It's titled You Decide Your Worth. Don't let nobody put no worth on you. Don't let nobody diminish your worth. Don't let anybody tell you what you are, what you're not capable of. You gotta you it has to be you, right? And I'll link that video in here. But it has to be you. You have to be the one to decide everything for yourself and be greatness. Turn into greatness, be greatness, and live to the fullest, man. Right? You have to want it. Your why. I was about to get into something crazy. That's probably I'm gonna save that for a different episode, man. I've been listening and learning to a lot of things, man, and I'm in a good space. I'm in a great space. And today was actually a bad day for me. Can you imagine? I got a pimple. I was stressed out today, man. I need a haircut. Today was actually a bad day for me. But the day as a whole, right? What happened so far up until the time that it is now was bad. I'm living in the present right now, and it's great. Life is great. Life is amazing. I have no complaints. How can you complain when you breathing? Huh? How can you complain when you're breathing? How can you complain when you're planning everything that you're planning for is already lived? Everything that I want, everything that I'm striving to achieve is already done. I'm already living it, right? 5 years ago, I was dreaming of being in the position I'm in now, and in 5 years, what I'm dreaming of, everything is going to be already accomplished. So I can't stress the small things when the grand picture is still complete. Can't stress the small things when the grand picture is still complete, right? That's like somewhat like crying over, nah, not really crying over spilled milk, but that's like you're not gonna throw the baby away with the. I don't know the quote, man, but I don't know the quote. All I know is life is good. Life should be as good for you is only as good as you make it. And even in the bad days, you gotta understand that it's still a good day. So I'm gonna just get straight into this. I feel good, man. I really feel good. Maybe it's because my Rams won last night. It is a Monday. My team played obviously last night. Maybe it's because my Rams won, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just something. I don't know. I feel really inspired, really good, man. Really inspired, really good. So you decide your worth. Make sure you decide your worth. Don't leave it up to nobody else. I don't care if it's family members, your wife, your child, your kids, your wife, your child, your kids, right? um, anybody, anybody but you. Your value of yourself is the most important. Everyone's gonna hold their own value of you, but how you value yourself, your worth, is on you, right? Don't let anybody saying that you're worthless affect you, and don't let anybody saying that you're I was gonna say worthless again because if you know, you know. Don't let anybody saying that you're worthless diminish you, and don't let anybody saying that you're worth a million or whatever the case may be uplift you. Because once you take the credit, you got to take the discredit as well. It's equal. It's equal balance. Um, so I'm gonna go straight into it. I know there are a million different factors, people, situations, and outcomes that affect the way you feel about yourself, but none of them determine your worth. You do. You determine your worth. So let your worth be determined by you. That's simple as that. And like he said, we know that plenty of you may set out to do something, you may fail at it. Don't that doesn't mean that you're not still worth greatness. That doesn't mean that you're not still worth everything that you think you are. You have to keep yourself. You have to make sure that you're. See, I got a lot of thoughts running in my head. I can't even get them out. You got to make sure that no matter what happens, that you keep your self worth intact. Simple as that. He says, for those of who have been in the heartbreak out of life, having someone we adore no longer share those sentiments can do much to make us feel in the gutter. And that's somewhat of not really what I'm going through right now, but like not right now, but more recently, right? I went through a breakup of someone that I cared about, and not to get too personal with it, right? But no matter what, how she valued me when she left, my value was still intact, right? All right, when she came into my life, right? I already had value. When she leaves my life, I'm always gonna hold that same value. So she may come into my life and value me more than I value myself, right? In context, right? Her context versus my context, right? I never took her value of me into consideration, right? At the end of the day, if she's here or not, my value is still the same. Or if she values me highly or less, it's still the same, right? Because when we're in a relationship, she valued me highly, right? And I would assume that now she values me less than obviously in a relationship, right? Because there's no reason to. But that doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect me. He says, our self worth never bounds to their approval, affection, attention, but it sure feels that way. We can allow these circumstances to determine our worth, but remember, it's only if we allow it. Pay attention and give credence to the things that you allow, right? Don't just allow anything in your life. You have to allow what's beneficial to you. You have to allow what's conducive to your life, to your health, to your mindset, to your future. You have to allow greatness. Don't allow anything less than that, right? And you have to be the word I want to say is obedient to this allowance, because one little slip up, you start getting taken for granted, or you start taking things for granted, and you start letting just anything slip by, right? You have to be very headstrong on what you allow in your life. Every moment of every day, we get to determine how we feel about ourselves. Correct. Every single moment is you recalibrating how you feel about yourself. So you can wake up and feel great, and then when you're making your breakfast, you can drop the pancake on the floor and feel horrible about yourself. You may feel that you're clumsy, right? And that can affect you. Don't let it affect you. It's okay to make mistakes. Things happen, right? We can have these small lapses in our feelings, our judgment, but feed it once we feed it too much and it becomes us, that becomes a problem. And I did an episode on that too. Watch what you feed. You become what you feed, right? The thoughts that you think, you become them. So it's okay to have bad thoughts, but if you feed them and you give them credibility, that's when the issue comes. Within all of us, there are things worth celebrating and things that we're not the most proud of. By choice is what we decide to focus on. Correct. Our jobs, income, marital status, circles, social circle, position in society, all of these can definitely determine how we feel about ourselves, but none of them are true measurements of who we are. Correct. We have an identity, and how we choose to identify ourselves is up to us. Your identity is like a flag, and you can place it on anything you want. State your claim. You can put your identity on anything that you want, but it's interesting. I never heard something like that. We have an identity. Sometimes these things make me think, right? And that's the whole point of the series, right? So I love it. We have an identity, and how we choose to identify ourselves is up to us. Your identity is like a flag, and you can place it on anything you want. Correct. I think your identity, I don't think you get to choose your. I mean, you can, I don't know. I'll have to deep dive into that sometime. Your identity is you don't. I don't think you choose your identity. I think you are inherently who you are, right? You can change certain things, right? I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about that in the comments. Your identity is like a flag, and you place it in anything you want, and you can place it in anything you want. I'm not too sure how I feel about that personally. Leave a comment and tell me if you agree or disagree with that previous statement. He says maybe he might elaborate because I have no idea. Damn, my eyes just tweaked out because I don't got my glasses on. Whew. My eyes just tweaked out. I can't read. He said, some place that flag in their religious beliefs or nationality. Others stick it in their family tree. We are free to stick. I'm so immature. Jesus Christ. Forgive me. We are free to stick it in anything and everything we want. The important why like the wording is crazy, bro. The important part is we get to determine where we stick it in. Identity and worth are concepts created by us, and we should keep this in mind and ensure our well-being. Not everything is in our control, so to it's unfair to us to allow these things to affect our self-worth. Correct. You can't control it. You can't control everything. So when the uncontrollables are being uncontrolled and they're not tethered or they're unkept and left to be, then is when what was I saying? Not everything is in our control, and it's unfair for us to allow these things to affect our self worth. Yeah. So when everything is crazy, 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 life is like just not aligning. You're just not hitting the goals that you're looking for. If you attach yourself to that, it will never end. It will never end. You would just you get into the mindset of that, oh, you're a loser. You can't accomplish anything. Life sucks. What you need to get out of that as soon as possible. This is why I say I allow people to have one or two, all right, 10 to 15 minutes of sadness, discomfort, hate, whatever the case they want to say, any negative feeling, anything that is inherently negative. I allow you 10 to 15 minutes to actually feel those, understand them, see where they're coming from, and let it go. And let it go, cause it get hot in that kitchen, boy. Nah, if you know what that's from, comment below. What's that from? Dope, very very dope. Yeah, yeah. Let the negative feelings subside and value the positive feelings. No one determines your value but you. If you think it's a miracle or you're worthless, you're right. You decide your value. Correct. He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both correct. If you think you're if you think you're a miracle and you're great and you're the greatest of all time, you can't be defeated, you're right. If you feel like you're worthless, you're a piece of and you can never accomplish anything, you're right. So choose 100% choose what it is that you want to identify with. That's it.